Ladies and gentlemen, somebody who fought the terrorists, somebody who's a member of the Special Operations Forces with the U.S. Air Force, who rescued Jessica Lynch, somebody who is a writer and an author and contributor to RedState.com, and many other things. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Special Forces Officer Jeff Emanuel.
I appreciate all the applause for a terrorist. Thanks a lot. I'll tell you what. This is amazing. I can't believe the weather we have today after all that global warming had my dogs freezing outside in April. Seriously though, amazing signs, amazing turnout. You guys are the ones that deserve a hand. Give yourself a hand really quick. You guys are awesome. Imagine my surprise when I woke up yesterday, day before this Tea Party, and found out that I'm now a terrorist, according to the Department of Homeland Security. One of the, being a Christian, being pro-life, and being a veteran of the armed forces who actually volunteered to go back after getting out of the military as a journalist, I'm doubly terrorist. I am, I guess I'm a high threat to create those, what is it called, man-caused catastrophes that Janet Napolitano talked about. Thank you. We're here about a lot of things. We're here about a president who doesn't respect the boundaries of our wallets, of our decisions, and we're here about future generations. I know I am. I have my first child on the way, and I'm terrified that there will be no money not only for him or her, but that, you know, he'll be born with about a $50 billion debt for this, or $50 trillion debt, excuse me, for this country. And part of the reason for that is because the debt, there's a lot of great science here showing what kind of a debt this country's in. They're all grossly underestimating it. How many folks here have held a job for even one day and paid taxes? Yeah. That's way better than any liberal protest. Every one of you, Grace, you lost your sign. Every one of you that has paid even $1 in federal taxes has bought into Medicare and Social Security. Every single one of you is now owed Medicare and Social Security by, we'd say the federal government, but really it's by the next generation. That debt, that unfunded liability, is $52 trillion on top of our published national debt. We're now $80 trillion in debt and growing. And we're talking about just discretionary budget deficits of $1, $2, $3 trillion a year for the rest of the Obama presidency. That's scary. It's a lot scarier than even just the giant incomprehensible numbers on these signs here. But it's not just about money either. This Obama administration and the Democrats in Congress and everything else, their movement is about reaching into the decision-making process that private Americans make and influencing those through government or directing those through bureaucracy. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and others who were forced to take bailout money by Hank Paulson during the Bush administration are now trying to pay that back to get out from underneath the government thumb. Obama says, heck no, we can print all the money we want. We don't need yours. We want that control. We want to be in the decision-making process. And I'll tell you what, Alan had a great speech a few minutes ago. That was absolutely great. I hope he spent a long time writing that, because if he did that either off the cuff or just this morning, he's better than I could ever be. He touched on healthcare, and this is huge. It's huge because not only is it a dollar thing, but it's a decision-making thing. I doubt that anybody here knows this because the media won't report it. Raise your hand when I get done saying this if you knew this already. Georgia is one of 3 states that has joined a federal lawsuit to get, by judicial fiat, the right to make final decisions about medical treatment stripped from a patient's doctor and given to bureaucrats. No. Who knew that? Anybody? You guys are well informed and smart because media aren't reporting this. All right, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee have joined a federal lawsuit that was argued at the end of March in the 11th Circuit Court in Atlanta to get that final decision-making for medical treatment stripped from a patient's personal physician who is a doctor, who's been to medical school, been through residency, and knows that patient, and given to a bureaucrat in some basement with just a cost-effectiveness spreadsheet in front of him. The federal government had that in the stimulus package, absolutely. This is state level as well. We've got it on both levels here. 50 states, federal government, every single one trying to take decision-making and dollars from you and put them in and give them to bureaucrats. I mean, is that change we can believe in? No! I'll tell you what, there's a lot that's going to change if the states and if the federal government get a chance to reach into that decision-making process and take decisions from doctors, medical decisions, and give them to bureaucrats with nothing but a cost-effectiveness spreadsheet in front of them. And I'll tell you what, it's so great to see all you all here not only getting informed, but making your voices heard here, in Savannah, in Atlanta, in Madison, Wisconsin, in Chicago, Illinois, everywhere across the country. I've been reading a lot of lefty websites, unfortunately, lately, which say, look, this is nothing, this Tea Party stuff. First of all, it's all staged, it's all fake. Americans for Prosperity bust out their people, and no real citizens are showing up anywhere. That's it. I'll tell you what. That's one thing about the left that you'll never hear, but you really want to realize. Every single thing they want to say about us is just a projection. AstroTurfing, authoritarianism, everything else. They're masters of projection. But I'll tell you what, a lot of lefty sites have been saying, I remember standing in New York with 1 million people protesting Iraq. That was something. We really made a difference that day. I wasn't there. I was in Saudi Arabia getting ready to go into Iraq, and I don't think they really changed much of anything when they did that. But they were saying we really made a difference. These, 300, 400 people around in 1,000 different places in the country, they're not doing anything, because tomorrow there will still be less than 180 Republicans in Congress. Obama will still be president, the budget will still be going through, et cetera, et cetera. They're right in the short term, but it's a gross misconception of the long term. Because tomorrow there will be a President Obama in the White House. Tomorrow there will be Democratic supermajorities in the House and Senate. But I'll tell you what, if they don't look at this kind of grassroots organization, this kind of grassroots movement, and energy and excitement and enthusiasm for real change, and get scared about 2010 and get scared about 2012, then they don't know what they're dealing with, and they got a big surprise coming. Thank you so much for coming out. You guys keep this up, and don't stop here. Build on it from today. Make that change in 2010 and make it from there. Thank you.
Let's hear for Jeff Emanuel who fought for control!
And get